Good morning, everyone, and welcome back to another installment of Manor Lords right here on the channel. If you just joined us, welcome to you. This is our second episode in this playthrough series or this particular build. And then, of course, today we'll be continuing the growth of our city, focusing on some tips and tricks for the economy, how to make a bit of cash so that we can grow as quickly as possible. I'll show you what I usually do early game to grow as quickly as possible. If you find any value in the content, I usually share a lot of tips and tricks and then also some updates that come from the developer side. But if you find value in this content, please consider subscribing to the channel. You'll see on the screen now, most of you watching my videos are not subscribed. Yesterday we reached 200 subscribers, to which I'm very thankful. So let's see how far we can push this thing. Our next goal will be 500 subs. I think that is about enough of an introduction. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into some gameplay. Alright, so our little city over here is buzzing. We are busy, our family's all over busy with working. Last time we established our iron industry. We just started to anyway. So we've got our iron mine going on here. We've also got our bloomery, turning those iron ore into iron slabs. And then of course our smithy, which will then go ahead and create some tools for us out of the iron slabs, which we can then sell for a profit. So it's very good that we've got a rich iron supply over here, iron resource. We've got some rubblestone that I'll gather today, a little bit of fish, and then of course some mushrooms, but they are very far from us, and some clay. That's also not going to be a real importance to us right now. I've also noticed we've got a bandit camp right across our border, so we'll take those bandits on quite early in this particular game to get an influx of coin into our settlement, or maybe even to the treasury. We'll still decide when we get to that. But food is our main concern at the moment. We've got 4 months of food left. Seeing that we only have one rich resource, I want to show you something real quick. If we go into the farming tab over here, you'll see that we've got a lot of rich fertility. Look at the barley fertility, so we can make some of our own ale. That might be something we focused on later. Some flax for clothing, of course, and then look at the emmer. That'll be your wheat basically, and rye fertility is good all over. So we'll also definitely start building some farms in this episode. And I was thinking right along the riverbank here might be good aesthetically. I mean, you know that farmers mostly like sticking to rivers because it allows for irrigation, which we don't really need to worry about in this game. So what I want to do first is go ahead and take care of this bandit camp, because they're already stealing some of our resources. Look at that, resources stolen by the nearby bandits. So what I think we'll do, and I'm going to show you a neat little trick with the military units as well, which I only found out about yesterday. But first let's go ahead and get them rallied over there, and then immediately these bandits will respond. We don't want them running, because then they will be fatigued. So here they come already. We probably won't be able to get across our border before they reach us. So I'm gonna stack up our spearmen right over there, and I think we'll get them into a shield wall then. Yesterday I told you, or in the previous episode I told you, that I don't really know if the shield wall has a big impact at the moment. Usually I just do stand your ground, but today we're going to combine that with the shield wall and see what happens. So get them into a shield wall, and then also say stand your ground. Obviously rain coming down quite good at the moment. Usually they also show you right there under the morale tab soaking wet, and that gives you a bit of a loss in your effectiveness, but doesn't seem to be of any impact right now. In our home region you'll see that we got about a 90 increase, you know, or benefit, seeing that we're fighting in our own territory. That also helps. So I'm going to speed it up a bit. Enemy unit has been spotted. So that's something that I spoke about in the update video from yesterday. They said that they fixed a bug where if you put it on fast forward and that enemy unit spotted shows up, it won't slow down time. It seems like it is not working. Someone in the comments did let me know that they've been fixing that with every update for the past few months, and it doesn't seem to work yet. So there, just again, affirmation that it isn't really fixed yet. What I want to do now is push forward, seeing that we've already engaged. And they are not standing a chance. There we go. We've broken them. Now we can go ahead and take this bandit camp. I'll show you that tip that I've spoken about earlier once we return. Okay, perfect. We've got a new message, and that's because we just took that raider camp. So we can decide if we want to send the resources to the nearest town or the treasury. And this particular one, even though we don't have any money in our regional wealth yet, I'm gonna send this to the treasury. Early on in the game, I actually like to send it to the town, but we've got iron, and pretty soon we'll be starting to trade that. So we'll get a nice influx of coin into our regional wealth. I'm gonna send that to the treasury because that then will allow me to hire mercenaries to take on the other bandit camps. So then that means that my military units here can stay in town and continue with working, because obviously if they are out and about fighting, then no work is being done in our city. So what I want to show you real quick, and this is the tip that I was speaking about, we let them run. Doesn't matter if they get fatigued now, and as soon as they enter our border here, we can go ahead and disband them. Now, of course, these units have to walk all the way back to the city, and if it was far away, let's say they were all the way on the other side of the map, like over here, it's going to take some time. So what we do now, so while they are still on their way back, what we do is we rally them. And now, if you see they're starting to come out of their houses, so immediately you just disband them. And what happened now is you basically won the game mechanics a bit and shortened their walking time. If it was, all the way from the other side of the map, like I said, you would have stopped wasting a bunch of time. You would have saved a bunch of time for having to wait for them to walk all the way back. So yeah, I know that does reduce the realism a bit, but nevertheless. Okay guys, so I think I'm going to start off by building us a road that leads all the way from there out of town. I just want to see, what I want to do is also adjust the curvature of the road a bit, just to make it look a bit more realistic. And we'll let that road join up right there. And then we'll start with the construction of our farmhouse right next to the King's Road over here. I don't want to really cut into the very fertile soil too much, but if you look at this, I think I'm going to start out with Emma to get a bunch of wheat in. So there's enough space on this side to create a little field, and then all the way down the King's Road on this side we can make 2 or 3 fields as well. So I'll let them take care of the construction of that for now. Okay guys, perfect. So our farmhouse has been constructed. What I want to do now is start on those fields. So I think I'll first start building a field right next to the farmhouse. I don't want to make them too big. We've got a lot of fertility, so we've got room for a bunch of fields. I'm going to start with the next one right along the riverbank here. And then just go all the way down. Of course, farming is also considered a rich resource, because this is something that we can export. I think I want to put in one more on this side. And there we go. I think that'll be good for now. So, seeing that it's almost winter and we don't have a lot of free or unassigned families, I don't really want to waste time with starting to get to work on the farm right now. And also, I don't want to grow the population too big, because we are a bit pushed for food at the moment and winter is fast approaching. So, we'll continue with focusing on what we have for now, and then come March in the spring we'll get back to focusing on the farming again. I want to go ahead and see what we currently have going on for resources. So timber and planks looking kind of good at the moment. Food we'll probably only have carp. Okay, we've got some beetroot as well. Not sure if we'll be getting in another yield before winter comes, but these are looking pretty good as well currently. So yeah, we'll just leave them for now. We've got extensions, so luckily there's 2 families able to work on those. And then on this side we still have the possibility to build an extension. I think maybe we should do that, just the one for now. That'll help with the farming of the vegetables. On this side we don't really have the cash now to start planting anyway, so we'll get to that next year as well. Let's go and have a look. What I want to do on this side is pigs, obviously. So we'll start building these animal pens, seeing that we've got enough timber at the moment, or planks, so they can start construction on that. Okay, so we're kind of looking good on fuel at the moment. The charcoal is starting to come in pretty good. We've got 19 months of fuel, so what I want to do is make sure that we are trading those charcoal away. No trade at the moment. Okay, we need a few bucks to establish a major trade route for that. What I want to do is export some firewood for now, and then what I want to do is stop the manufacturing of charcoal just for now. We've got 2 families on the woodcutters lodge, so that'll be fine. Let's see, villagers required to be buried on hallowed ground of the church, while raiders may be dumped into a corpse pit. So that's because we fought in our own territory, yeah? I know it brings your approval rating down a bit, but I'm not even going to build a corpse pit because these will disappear in about 4 months, 3 or 4 months, so it's fine. Let's see in any way what a corpse pit will cost us, if I can just remember to find it. Okay, so it's free. Anyway, let's build it. If it's free, I'm going to build it, and I'll just destroy it again later. It does ruin the aesthetic for me quite a bit. You don't want a corpse pit close to your city. I understood that usually they did build it quite far away, but I mean that's fine for now. And I wonder if someone, a family probably has to be assigned to this corpse pit. So once it's done, we'll do that. And I also want to construct a stone gatherer camp. We'll do that right over here just to get rid of this because it's kind of in the middle of our town. Got 120, which we'll need to do later constructions like the church and different upgrades and so forth. I'm also glad to see that our families are working in these vegetable gardens at the moment. That'll help us to get some additional food into our village before winter comes. This beetroot again, they grow quite fast, and then hopefully we'll also get some yield in on the carrots before winter. And it seems like our corpses that was over here already disappeared, so you know what, let's demolish this. Don't want to waste time. Access goods needs to be moved to the storehouse. Wonder where those access goods are. Okay, our storehouse is full. That's the problem. We need to upgrade this immediately then. That took quite a bunch of planks. So let's make sure that our saw pit is still up and running. And I just want to go into the advanced tab here. I think we are trading away some planks as well. Jump into the trade post again and have a look. Let's see, exporting planks at the moment, and we said we desire 50 surplus. That's a lot. I'm going to leave it at 20. So yeah, obviously this is early game economy. Just to get some of those smaller stuff transported out of or traded out of our city here, so we can get an influx of coin. Let's go ahead and look at the iron mine. We've got 2 families on there. I want to see how much we have. 63 iron ore currently. So I'm gonna add a family to the bloomery and let them start turning this iron into iron slabs, and then we'll just hold off on the smithy for now. We only have 1 unassigned family. Maybe we should remove a family from the mining pit and add them to the smithy. And then we'll focus on adding families here pretty soon. Like I said, don't want to grow the population too big just yet because of our food issue. And they've also constructed the stone gatherer camp now. Alright, so I'll be removing a family here from the woodcutter's lodge and adding them to the stone gatherer camp. We can get rid of this during the winter as well. Alright guys, so as you can see, winter is here and the snow is starting to come down. I've got two things that I quickly want to take care of. So the first thing, of course, being adding a family to the smithy. Okay, we've done that. So we've got 2 unassigned families at the moment. Just want to make sure that no construction is being done at the moment. I think everything that we had to build is done building. So we don't really need an unassigned family right now. We'll add another family to the mining pit over there. And then let's quickly take a look at our iron industry. Let's see, we've got 63 iron ore and only 1 iron slab, because obviously the guys from the smithy are using those iron slab to make some tools for us. We only have 3 at the moment, but I want to get the iron slabs coming in as quickly as possible. So we'll add a family there. No unassigned families to guide the ox. Well, I believe that'll be fine for now, because we will be removing this family from the fisherman's hut now. Okay guys, so it's time for another tip now. What I saw in a video yesterday, also something that I never knew before, so here we are learning from each other. I saw it on another YouTube video. I'm going to unassign all the families from the mining industry here, or the iron industry, and I want to show you what you can do if you want to minimize walking times. Let's click on this first burgage plot, which will be closest to the mine. You then go to people, and you can reassign a family to a different workplace. So say for instance we want to assign the families from the first 2 burgage plots to the mining pit. You go to people and you say reassign family, and you can assign them to the mine then. And let's say the 3rd house or 3rd burgage plot, let's see what they are getting up to. They are a stone cutter. We want to reassign them to the bloomery. So once again, we can minimize walking distance for our people over here, and then we will probably have 2 people in, or 2 families in that burgage plot, because it has an extension. So granary worker, this family is still unassigned, so we can assign that family to the smithy. Let's go ahead and see if we have any unassigned families. So that family still unassigned. We will also assign that family to the bloomery. And then also let's zoom out a bit and see if we can find another bandit camp. It seems like we do not have another bandit camp on the map at the moment, but we need some cash coming into our city pretty quickly here next year, so that we can get around to farming and then start trading those goods. Alright guys, so I'm not going to be building anything else through the winter months. I'm just going to let the game simulate a bit, and then we'll pick it back up once spring comes around. Okay guys, so spring has finally decided to make its appearance, and we are completely out of food. Only about 2 carp and 3 carrots left. I see there we've got 2 beetroot as well, but luckily things will start growing, and we've got a new message. Let's take a look. We've received reports of a band of raiders roaming the nearby lands. Should we track their steps? And we'll go ahead and track their steps. So those raiders will be visiting us. Don't believe it's going to be a too friendly visit, but nevertheless visiting us in about a year's time. And luckily things are starting to heat up and the snow is starting to melt, so we are getting some food in currently. Also, throughout the winter months, just look at those tools. We've got 74 tools available, so these guys in the iron industry has really been doing their part. So there's 2 things that we have to do, actually 3 things. First off, let's go ahead and start by opening the development panel. we haven't chosen our origins yet. So of course you have the ability to go through this all by yourself if you play the game, and see most of them have some attributes and then some negatives. I normally like to go for this one. Unfortunately, we don't really have hunting, but it does increase the export price on minor trades. So that does help us with the trade of our tools. So that's what I'm thinking of going for. Then increased capacity for foraged goods, which we also don't really have. Decreased agricultural efficiency. That's the only thing that's bothering me, because agriculture is going to be one of our main focuses on this particular map. Alright, so that one I do like to go for now. And then let's look at the first one as well. New upgrade to small holdings if you want to focus on farming for some of your burgage plots. Increased approval from food variety and increased success chance for tree planting. But we've got a lot of timber as well, so not really focused on the tree planting too much. Then there's also, of course, this one that gives you an increased regional wealth from burgage plots, reduce burgage plots upgrade costs, salt and iron ore import value are reduced. So we're not going to be importing iron. I also don't think that's a perfect fit for us. So what I think, let's just look at this one with the Iron Smiths of Passau. Let's see what they say. Increased blacksmith efficiency, increased weapon export value, equip militia, provide approval, and then local handyman bonus is your affinity. Decrease livestock efficiency. You see, that's the other thing. I was thinking of creating some sheep pastures. So I think we'll be maybe skipping this for now, not choosing one of those. Efficient farming at elevation, cheaper animal imports, increased mining labor speed, artisan efficiency malice. So we're gonna have some artisans to create weapons for us as well. So basically, I think we'll leave this one pending for now. But I just wanted to show you that I didn't forget about it, and we did have a look at it. Next up, we need to start focusing on farming. So what I want to do is bring all of these guys from the iron industry over to the farming industry. Let's see what we can do here. Yes, I'm gonna put the production of tools on hold for now, and I'm just gonna leave one family on the mining pit so that they can keep the raw materials coming in. Before we start with the farming, let's look at the fish. We've got 56. We ended the winter with 40, so we'll perhaps have to start fishing again just to take care of our immediate food need. We'll place one family there, and then what I want to do is go ahead and select wheat for this one, wheat for that one, and then on these we'll do barley. Now another thing, I do see that the barley is more fertile in the lower part, so let's see what the barley will do here. Yes, okay, so we'll change that around. Barley on these two, wheat on those two, and then we'll plant rye on the bottom two fields. So your rye pretty much grows almost everywhere. That requires the least amount of efficiency. Another thing that we'll do is we'll add those two ox that we already have. We'll add them to permanent livestock assignments so they don't leave. And then we'll add 4 families to this farmhouse. And what I then want to do is, seeing that we have some cash, we traded some minor things throughout the winter. Let's have a look at this. We can order an additional ox there. Running out of food. Yes, I know that's a problem. Order an additional ox and also upgrade that hitching post. This one, stable space, will upgrade. We can only order an ox once every I believe 1 month. Trader available in 30 days, but we can go ahead and upgrade those hitching posts so long so that they can house 2 ox. We can also remove the family from the stone gatherer camp because they have no more stones available, and we can also then demolish the camp. We won't be needing it any longer. Let's have a look at our fuel. 19 firewood, 136 charcoal that we have going. We have no families on the charcoal. We'll leave that for now and focus all of our efforts on the production of grain in our farms. So we've got one family at the logging camp, and then also the saw pit is empty for now. So let's go ahead and add 2 more families so that we can get as much as possible from our farmlands. And then they will start with plowing and sowing for this year's crop. You can already see that our food storage is enough for 4 months, or our surplus, which means we can now also focus on growing our population as quickly as possible. We will be adding a extension to those 2 units, and I believe those won't be possible, but what we can do is add pigs to those 3 at the bottom so long, because pigs does give you quite a lot of meat as well, and that'll also help solve our food shortage issues. I've also seen that we have got another bandit camp right there where the previous one were. We might be able to get rid of them with some mercenaries, but I don't want to get to that just yet. Also don't really want them stealing my resources, so we'll see. Once they start becoming a nuisance, we'll definitely take care of that. We've got 71 coin left in our regional wealth, and then of course I want to start with the trade. I'm going to establish a major trade route on the tools, and then start exporting all those tools that we manufactured throughout the winter. I'm going to leave our surplus at 10 so that we've got enough tools to take care of our own maintenance requirements, and then the rest of the tools we can export for a bit of coin there. Then we've got some requirements that we need to take care of if we want to level up our burgage plots. Let's go to residential there. You'll see that they need church access. That'll be the next thing that we build. Let's see if we have all the available resources, and then we can start construction on that. And luckily we do. So now, just to find ourselves a nice spot for this church, I'm actually thinking of placing it maybe right here. We will probably be able to expand down this way with our burgage plots, and maybe even up this way and up this way again, so we can keep the church nice and centralized. Let's go ahead and start construction, and it fits in nicely. I just want to make sure that we have enough space to build a road going through the backside here of the granary and storehouse, and then we can start construction of our church right there. We've got 1 unassigned family available, so they can continue slowly with the construction, and I'm also gonna just connect the road to the back side of the church there, and maybe go around the side. And perfect. Alright, so here at the bottom you can also see that goods are being transported to and from our trading post. They've already got 30 tools in storage there, so pretty soon we'll be able to sell those, and then that'll help with, like I said, our early game economy, getting a bit of influx into our town. I'm glad we've got a deep iron mine, because we can also focus on making weapons. Those also export at a fairly good price. Actually, one of my first times playing on a very fertile region, which I quite enjoy, because we'll have a lot of goods to export through our farming over here. And it is currently April, so I do believe that we will have a trader available again, and we do, for an additional ox. Look at the regional wealth, it's already been increased, so that is quite good to see. We have 2 extensions currently under construction. Pretty soon we'll have space for more families, and then we'll also, of course, start building some additional burgage plots over here for our new families to move in. What I want to do next, we've got some vegetable gardens. These 2 have not been planted, so once they are done with the transport, we'll plant some additional vegetables over here. And then I also want to start focusing on orchards so that we get fruit into our village. Alright, so it appears that these guys are just about finished up with our fields, and I'm very pleased about that. What I want to do next, of course, is also look at adding some sheep into our village for an additional source of meat. So I'll be constructing now a livestock trading post right next to the normal trading post that we've got here. And then also I want to go ahead and start construction of a sheep farm. I think we'll put the sheep farm right next to the livestock trading post over there, and then we can start with our sheep pastures across the road from that. We've got enough space available here for maybe another crop field, and then the sheep can be sorted over here right next to the fisherman's hut. I mean, why not? Alright, and that pasture will have enough space for about 28 sheep. So I'll also go ahead and build a second one, and we'll see if we can get a bunch of sheep into our settlement. There's 34. And then on this side, I'm going to be adding another crop field. I think we've got quite the farm setup going on here. This field I'll leave for this year, because I don't think there's enough time to start growing on that. Okay, so they have just finished up with our last field of wheat over here. Well, almost done. And then that'll hopefully grow pretty nicely. What I need to do next is, of course, build us a windmill. So, of course, the thing with the windmill is got an efficiency level. If you build it too close to trees, you'll see right over there it's about 49%. And then if you build it far enough out of the way, you get a bigger percentage. Now, I don't want it to be too far from our storage over here, because that'll cause issues with logistics. So unfortunately this is a bit far from our initial fields, but let's see if we place it there. We can always move it again later if we feel the need for it. Over there we've got 99% efficiency, so I'll be going ahead and building that right there. And then perhaps across the road from that windmill, we can go ahead and establish a communal oven for ourselves. Let's see where that is located. Alright, so the communal oven also right here under the farming tab. And I think we are going to put it... Let's put it right across the road from the granary and the storehouse. And that'll be perfect. We currently have enough food for 6 months, so luckily we've been getting some food in pretty quickly during this year from the start of spring. I believe the construction of these will be completed as well. So let's go ahead and start vegetable gardens over here. I want to plant some cabbages as well. On this side we've got beetroot. There we have got carrots, another carrots, and in the center here beetroot again. So seeing that we've already got 2 of the other ones, I might as well do 2 cabbage gardens. Construction still underway in this last burgage plot. So seeing that most of the work has been done on the fields until time for harvest comes around, what I'm going to do now is just remove the livestock and also the families assigned at the farmhouse, because we won't be needing them just now. Now we've got a bunch of unassigned families available again, so that we can continue with production of our most valuable export, which currently will be tools. So there we go. Now we have got a full iron industry employed to the max, and we can plant cabbages right over there. And then we've got a few things left for construction once again. We'll also be adding another guy to the woodcutter's lodge for now, just to keep those resources coming in. You see we've got no firewood left, only charcoal, which we are also exporting. So I see that we've got 2 spaces available for new families to move in. As soon as they do, we'll be able to add some more people to the lumber or the timber industry again as well. And then pretty soon we'll be focusing on adding additional burgage plots. Alright guys, so that is going to do it for this episode. I believe that we've got quite a few things accomplished in year 1 of our settlement. things are definitely starting to fall into place regarding our current economic state. And I believe in the next episode we'll start seeing the fruits of all our labor. In the next episode, we'll definitely be focusing on leveling up some of our burgage plots and also adding more burgage plots to our settlement, growing our population, and then starting to explore new industries and so forth. And, well, thank you guys for joining me on this. I really do appreciate it. Once again, if you found any value during my video today, please consider subscribing to the channel and engaging with the video. I'd appreciate it if you leave me a like and comment something if there's something that I missed, something that you want to ask a question about. That is going to do it from my side, guys. Enjoy your weekend. Cheers.